my name is Richelle and I am a personal trainer, online fitness coach, and a group fitness instructor. I just ran my first fitness challenge and here's what happened. Movement has been a huge part of my life over the past 10 years. I have seen the transformative effect that it's had on my life as well as my clients' lives, and even those people that follow me just on social media, in my network, friends, family. I truly believe that movement is such a gift. Not only that it's good for us in terms of our physical health and our bodies, but also that it has a huge effect on your mental health and just on your overall quality of life. So that is why I decided for my first challenge to run it as a 4-week winter movement challenge. I feel like winter is such a tough time for all of us with fitness. It's dark out earlier, it's cold, some days it might be raining or snowing, and it just makes it really hard to get out even to the gym or get outside. So by creating this challenge, I wanted to motivate people to get outdoors, get that fresh air, feel good again, and hopefully give them that little mental health boost that they need during those winter months. My ideal clientele, or a lot of the clients I work with, are busy moms or they are young entrepreneurs, and they just lead very busy, hectic lifestyles that sometimes causes them to put their own movement and their own self-care on the back burner. So with this challenge, I really wanted to create a space and open up an opportunity for them to invest a little bit more time in themselves over the 4-week challenge and to really soak in all the benefits that movement can bring to their life, both physically and mentally. The main reason that the challenges feature was created is more to engage existing clientele, but I decided to kind of be a little bit more risky and to try and use it as a bit of a lead generation tool. So I wanted to not only engage my current clients and give them the opportunity to participate, but also to potentially pull in new clients into my services that might not currently be working with me. In order to attract that kind of group that I wanted, I started with my existing clients. So through the ABC Trainerize app, I just went in and sent them a message and just told them that I had this challenge coming up in the works and asked if they'd be interested in participating. And I also sent an email out to my email list. I found this was a really great strategy to attract a group that was very engaged with me already, especially with my email list. The people on there, whether they're current clients or previous clients, so it was a perfect way to kind of bring them back into the fold and to get them start thinking about their fitness routine and movement and health again. So I'd say ideally, and this is a great tip if you're thinking about running your own challenge, keeping it up to about 10 to 15 people I found worked really well. And also just the way that the ABC Trainerize group messaging feature is set up, it only allows you to message a maximum of 10 clients at a time. As far as using the challenge to attract new clients, I also think this is a really good taste of what it's actually like to be an online client and to be set up in the ABC Trainerize app. So for people that weren't current clients that were coming to join the challenge, I sent them an invite, got them set up with a profile, and then that just let them kind of come into the dashboard, play around, and see what kind of features are actually in the app. To incentivize people to participate in my challenge, I had a couple of prizes up for grabs. The first was this Lululemon belt bag, and this was a perfect thing. It's great for on the go. Again, it fits really well with my ideal kind of clientele. And the other part of the prize pack was a month of free online coaching with me. So again, a really great way to kind of test out the waters for clients and hopefully eventually convert them into a paying client. The people that didn't win, I went and I offered them a discount code for one of my pre-built workout plans. So even if they didn't win, they still felt like they were getting some kind of deal. And again, just another great way to start building my client base by offering them kind of a unique incentive. So when I was figuring out how to actually set up the challenge, I chose to do mine as a threshold challenge, which means that everybody who hits the point threshold in the end wins in the sense that they complete the challenge. So there's like the leaderboard style, which is more like people stacking up against each other. So that might be good for something like, who can run the most distance or who can lift the most weight. For me, I wanted to have it so that everybody was motivated. The whole goal is just to get people out there and moving, right? So I wanted it to be as empowering and doable for them as possible. I think the trickiest part of the whole setup for me, being somebody who is not necessarily the best at math, was figuring out a way to convert that 150 minutes of exercise per week target to points within the challenge. So what I ended up doing is setting it up so that each time clients went in and added a cardio activity, they would be awarded 25 points. It had to be at least 25 minutes of activity to count. If they completed more than 25 minutes, I would essentially let them log it twice. So let's say they did like an hour-long group fitness class, or maybe they were out running for like 50 minutes. I would let them log that twice, so therefore they would get a total of 50 points. The threshold I set for this challenge was 600 points. Anybody that hit that 600 points would be entered in to win the prize draw. And there was actually a lot of participants in the challenge I found that would actually go way above and beyond that. So I don't know whether it was just that they were enjoying tracking in the app, but it was really exciting to see them like really jump full into it, give it their all, and just go like way above and beyond the goal. One One of the things that I loved most about this challenge was just seeing my participants engage with each other, support each other, and clap for each other, all these things within the group messages. Every few days in the challenge, I would send a little prompt, encouraging people to share what activity they were getting up to each week, and people would share the wide range of activities, whether it was swimming, Pilates, biking with their kids, and I noticed that a lot of them were actually trying new things that they hadn't really done before too. So I absolutely love that this challenge was that kind of catalyst that they needed to maybe try a new activity or put themselves out there in a class that they didn't necessarily feel comfortable before. So that was just really exciting to see. I didn't necessarily expect that. So if you are thinking about using the challenges feature to run a challenge, these are my top 3 takeaways that I would leave you with. Number 1 is to get super clear on exactly who your ideal client is and how this challenge is actually going to add value to their lives. So for example, because me working with a lot of busy moms, entrepreneurs, it had to be something that was actually doable and they could fit into their busy lifestyles. The second thing is to be super clear on the rules and to communicate constantly. Some of the math and kind of like the way the points were added was a little bit confusing or a little bit complex. So before the challenge even started, I went into the group through a group message and I, laid out the rules really clearly. I explained how the points adding worked. Even the first few days of the challenge, I was a little bit more active in the chat to make sure people were doing it properly, and I would quickly correct just to make sure that things didn't get kind of messed up. Within the challenges feature, you can also go in and fill out your rules so the clients can refer back to that at any time, which is great. My final tip is to make it fun and look for areas where you can add extra value. So I think one of the things that I struggle most with when it comes to online coaching sometimes is forgetting that there's a human on the other side of that screen. It's easy to create a workout plan or a meal plan and kind of send it off and forget that this is actually somebody's life that you're impacting, and you have to kind of work with their schedule and their capacity. We're out in Vancouver here on the West Coast, and there was a couple days of the challenge where we got hit with a huge snowstorm. So obviously that prevented some people from getting outside or getting to the gym for their usual daily activity. So we actually had clients in the chat that day talking about how they were out shoveling snow and how many calories they burned. They were even like sharing pictures of their smartwatches to show me like the calorie burn, and I let them count that as a daily activity because I was like, you know what? It's a great workout, and sometimes you just have to adapt and be flexible, and you have to be realistic. The other thing I did during that kind of blizzard period is I actually dropped them a few home workouts. So again, knowing that they were stuck at home and maybe couldn't make it out to work or out to the gym, just dropping a super simple little circuit they could do at home, which is body weight, just got super into it and they really embraced it. And that's because I think that people really appreciate when you go out of your way to just add that little extra touch and adapt to their circumstances to make their lives easier. So I'm super excited to play around with the challenges feature more and to see how else I might be able to motivate and inspire my clients. After all, the whole goal is to make people live better, happier, healthier lives. And if challenges is one way that I can do that, then I am all for it. So try out the challenges feature in ABC Trainerize, and we would love to hear how you're using it to inspire your clients.